Welcome to PrepsNet Coach Speak with Gardendale Rockets head football coach Eric Firestone, powered by Campus Traditions. Here's your host, Aubrey Johnson.
Welcome back, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so last Friday night you had a very interesting game with James Clemens. For one thing, you had a lightning delay.
Yep.
And then the game itself was pretty much back and forth until late in the fourth quarter. James Clemens pulled away, final score 35-21.
Yes.
Tell us about the game.
It was a really competitive game.
Yeah.
They got the ball first. They were able to drive down. They converted a couple third and shorts, fourth and short, ended up scoring. It took us a drive or two to get going on offense.
Sure.
And then once we held them, we were able to go ahead and we battled back, so we went ahead. As soon as they got the ball, they had one snap. We had a huge play on defense, had them 2nd and 20, and then we went into a 45-minute lightning delay.
That's right.
So all the momentum we had going was gone. They were able to come back. They scored. We were able to answer back. They scored later in the game,
Right.
and after they scored twice, we were able to come score again. So we were able to take the lead twice in the game. So it says a whole lot about our kids, the fact that we were able to get down
Right.
and then come and keep fighting back.
Well, I just want to mention for the audience, you guys are 6A. They are a big-time 7A team.
They are.
So, and they're well known throughout the state. So, I mean, you guys fought hard during that game.
We did. I'm super proud of our kids. I believe we did some math. We had 17 kids get their first start on Friday, and then even more got their first experience on meaningful snaps.
Yeah.
On Friday. So we had some inexperience, not an excuse, but that's just the way it is.
Right. Well, you still put up 21 points.
Correct,
So
yes.
tell us who played well on offense.
Offense, Jackson Hanner, he's our tight end. He had 3 receptions, I believe, for 65 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. Both were great catches.
Yeah.
He's also our punter. He was able to flip the field a couple times.
Nice.
Parker Robinson, our quarterback, he had some good plays. He kind of found his rhythm a little bit later in the game. Also got us out of some bad spots with his legs. The offensive line up front, Jude Wright, he played really well.
Okay.
He's kind of the anchor up there. He played well. Defensively, Chauncey Goodwin, he's our nose guard. He played great. He was causing problems all night for them. One of our linebackers, Carson Ellis, he played great.
Nice.
So we had a lot of bright spots on Friday.
Good, good. Did you have anybody come away with an injury that'll affect you this week?
Hopefully not this week. We had, most everything was bumps and bruises.
Okay.
We did have one injury where a kid will be out for a couple of weeks. We're still waiting on some test results to kind of see what those are going to be.
Okay.
But for the most part, we came out just normal bumps and bruises.
Okay, great. So what lessons would you say that you and the team learned from that game Friday night?
Well, the fact that our kids are fighters.
Nice.
They are fighters, and they stayed composed the entire game. Right. As the game went on, late in the fourth quarter, you could kind of see some of their attention and their attention to detail kind of go down a little bit. But that's a lot of that's with inexperience.
Right.
And I was talking to some of our coaches, like that's the most they've ever had to play in a game.
Sure.
We had, I believe, 62 snaps on offense, and I think it was 60 snaps on defense. And they're probably in a JV game, they might get 30. Same thing like at middle school. So they're not used to playing that much. So like I said, they're resilient. They fight hard. We were able to kind of find our footing on offense and on defense. Defense played great. There's some special teams kind of put us in some bad spots.
Yeah.
But we're getting those things fixed.
Okay, very good. This week, turn the page. You've got a new foe coming up this Friday in non-region Pinson Valley. What do you expect to see from the Indians?
Well, Pinson, we've played them most of the time since I've been here. They were in our region. We didn't play them for a couple of years. Now they're back. There's always a really, really good opponent,
Yes.
a kind of rival game.
Okay.
They are very, very big up front on both sides of the ball, very athletic. They're well coached over there.
All right.
So I expect it to be a really tight game.
Okay. So last year the Indians went 1-9, and you actually beat them last year 42-16. What does that say about this year's game as far as your chances of success, if anything?
Well, I don't know if you can go off of last year, but
Right.
like for them, they went 1-9, but they returned, I believe, 9 starters on each side of the ball. So
That's a
they've
lot.
got most of their team coming back.
They're seasoned.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So they've got some experience. Just from what we've seen on film, they look better. They're doing a good job over there. But I also like to think too that we've had a jamboree under our belt. We had a real tough opponent last Friday under our belt. So I think that's going to help our chances a lot.
Okay, very good. So coming up Friday, September 5th will be your first region game, and it's against Parker,
Yes.
last year's 6A state champs. So tough assignment. How will you prepare for them?
Well, and so that game actually got moved to the Thursday, so the day before.
Okay.
So we're going to have to adjust our schedule a little bit.
All right.
So on Thursday games, we kind of have to kick everything back a day.
Gotcha.
So we'll actually spend a little more time up here on Sundays with the coaches and players, and then we'll just kind of run it like a regular week. Like I said, they're the defending state champs.
Yes.
They've already won their first game against Ramsey. Very, very talented. They've got skill everywhere. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do a good job of hanging on to the ball and
Right.
sustaining long drives on offense. Do a really good job in the kicking game, and then defensively really just limit their big plays and make them drive the field.
Okay. So Coach Frank Warren over there is in his 6th season. He's really turned things around over there. And he's been with the Herd a long time. You've been able to see him over the years. What would you say is his style of play?
He's very fundamental. They're not real fancy when it comes to their schemes on offense or defense.
Right.
But they're very fundamentally sound.
Okay.
And they keep it simple. Stupid's what they do.
Okay, very good. Well, Coach, that's our show. We certainly appreciate your time. And as always, we appreciate yours. Join us in a couple of weeks for another Gardendale edition of Coach Speak.